home. Man, if you guys are not seeing, our crowd is so fired up. They're so pumped up. They're like jumping off their chairs. Woo, right, crowd? So my name is Angelica Betancourt Haro. I've been in the business for 13 years now. I'm a senior executive vice chairman. I originally started in Northern California, was recruited by my sister Rosa Romo, who was recruited by Randy C. Kairos. And so for the last 12 years, I've been building my business with my amazing husband out of Southern California, Guillermo Haro. I love you, baby. And then I also want to say thank you for these two individuals who changed our life forever. And that's Ed and Christiana Milet, for believing in that man, for teaching him how to build a business, for never allowing him to quit. So I love you guys. A little bit about my story. So I'm your typical Mexicana that come from a really big family. I have 11 siblings from the same mom and dad. My parents migrated here from Mexico, chasing that American dream. And so we grew up really poor, not having a whole lot. And when I was 8 years old, and the reason I share this because I feel that it made me who I became. So I was 8 years old, and I came home from school one day to find out that my mom had left. I didn't want to believe it. I walked into an apartment where we lived at, and I saw my dad cry for the very first time, and I saw my sisters cry. And you know, just growing up, I just grew up with so much hunger and desire to be somebody significant in life, because I felt that I wasn't worth anything because my mom had left. And so I just wanted to be somebody big in life, and we just grew up not having a whole lot. And I just remember, as a little girl, I wanted to give back to my dad. I wanted to be able to give back. He gave up so much for us so that we can have a better life. My sisters had to quit their careers to go get multiple jobs so that they can help my dad put food on the table. So I want to tell you something. I absolutely love WFG because WFG delivered. So don't you dare talk smack about WFG because those are some fighting words. And I will defend it because they allowed me to achieve that biggest goal in life, and that was to retire my dad. So early on in my career, I hit SMD. I remember sitting my dad down at a kitchen table and say, Dad, you know what? I found a company that's gonna allow me to retire you forever. I found a company that I'm planting my flag with. They're legit, and I'm gonna be there forever, and I'm not gonna fail you, Dad. I'm retiring you. And guess what? That was 13 years ago. And I've never failed to pay my dad's bills. I've never failed. Every single month, clockwork, my dad receives a check from me. So I love you, WFG. Thank you very much. So now, let's talk about some disciplines. Let's talk about some disciplines it takes to become successful in WFG. So there's many disciplines, and not necessarily in this order. I want to go over some. You know, commitment. You can't grow anything big if you don't commit long term. And I get it. Some people start WFG wanting to do it part-time, but some people start WFG and they want to plant their flag and build a career out of it. You can't just dabble into it and say, I'm going to try it out for a year or two, and then if it doesn't work, I'm going to quit. No, damn it, you got to commit. People have great marriages because they commit. You know, people have good finances because they commit. So if you want something big, if you want to build a big business, then you need to commit to having a big business. Number two, focus. You got to be present. Eliminate all your distractions. You know, you got to be very crystal clear on your goals. I'm talking about your annual goals, your monthly goals, your weekly goals, your daily goals, and be clear about it. So many times, a lot of us want to achieve our goal, but we're so vague about it. We're not crystal clear about it. You know that you need to understand how many appointments you need to go on. You need to understand how much premium, how many recruits, how many people you need to put into licensing. Know and be crystal clear about your goals. And one thing that's going to allow you to be on pace and not quit on your goals is having a big why. Man, it's so important to have a big why. You have to have a big why that touches you in your heart, that makes you emotional, that makes you cry. Because you know what? You're going to get knocked down. In life and in business, you're going to go through some ups and downs. You're going to go through some obstacles, and you need that why that's going to get you back up, that doesn't allow you to stay down, that why that gets you out of bed every single day when you're tired and you're not feeling it, that why that's not going to let you quit on your why. So you need to have that big why. Number three, you need to have an effective follow-up system. The truth is, I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for an effective follow-up system. I wouldn't be Angelica Haro, married to Guillermo Haro, with my two beautiful children, if it wasn't for an effective follow-up system. And thank God Guillermo had an effective follow-up system when it came to pursuing me. He followed up and followed up and followed up until finally I tested his closing skills. 12 months later, I finally said yes. But the truth is, all your clients are not going to buy right away. All your recruits are not going to get recruited right away. So you must have an effective follow-up system. If not, you're going to have some good people pass you by. Number 4, you got to be able to repeat the fundamentals over and over and over again. There's 6. Our BFS talks about 6 fundamentals. Get good at them. Teach your team them. You know, the reality is you just got to learn how to prospect, right? Introduce the business opportunity, make that phone call. Simple, right? Prospect, phone call, learn the KTP, the one-on-one, close, learn how to close, and teach your people how to close. If you want to retain people, you must teach them how to close because people are going to quit on you if you don't teach them how to get a result. So, number 5, be a student of the business. Man, you got to be a student of the business. Understand what got you here is not going to get you there. I know that what got me to $1 million is not going to get me to 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I know that I need to be growing. Ed Milet constantly talks about chasing discomfort. Man, you got to be so good about chasing discomfort. That is how you grow. Analyze your business. Analyze yourself. In the last week, how many situations have you been in that you were uncomfortable? What about the last month? What about the last year? Because nothing big grows inside a comfort zone. So if you want to grow, man, you got to be willing to get uncomfortable. And then learn the business, learn the ins and outs, learn the products, learn the words of the business, learn how to sell the opportunity, right? So number 6, I hear my friend Veronica and Steve Holbrook always saying this: you got to make your calendar your boss. You know, anytime I go speak at an event, one of the biggest questions that's asked to me is, Angelica, you know, how do you balance your business? And I said, the reality is there's no balance. It's just about being present. You must be present. And the way I schedule all my appointments, my KTPs, anything that's important in my business is also the way I schedule anything else in my life that's important, like spending quality time with my husband, you know, spending time with my kids. So make your calendar your boss. And I better go quick because the time is going. Attitude, man, you gotta have an attitude of gratitude. Remember, somebody put you on a prospect list. Somebody had the courage to call you and introduce a business opportunity to you. So have that attitude of gratitude. Be coachable and teachable. It's not easy. Communication, you gotta be able to communicate with your team. And man, last is so huge. The last one is that, and I think is the most important one, is that you gotta have vision. A man didn't land on the moon because nobody had vision. A man landed on the moon because somebody had vision. People build big fortunes because they have vision. People have great marriages because they have vision. Man, your vision has to be so big that your team fits inside of that vision. You got to have vision for your finances, for your kids, for your family. Where are you going? Have belief in yourself. And remember, Diana said this to me last night, Angelica, I don't like that people say sell the dream, because you guys are living the dream. And yes, you bet, you know what, we are living the dream. WFG gives you that opportunity. If they gave somebody who was born on a dirt floor in Zacatecas, Mexico, to become somebody big, and somebody like me who was left by her mom to become significant, not only change our life, but change other people's lives, you gotta know that the power that you have. If you're a licensed agent with WFG, you have the power to go help kids go to college. You have the power to help people with their retirement accounts. You have the